A very good morning, dear children. Today we start next chapter, second last chapter of this book, The Interview. And as we discussed yesterday, certain points regarding this chapter, as well as the definition and the process, or some belief regarding interview, regarding an interview, especially. Let's read this chapter today. The interview from the introduction to the Penguin Book of Interviews, edited by Christopher Sylvester. The masterpiece of the book was the Penguin Book of Interviews, and this book was edited by Christopher Sylvester. A little bit about the writer. Christopher Sylvester was a student of history at Peterhouse, Cambridge, in Cambridge. He was a reporter for Private Eye for 10 years. Private Eye means private newspaper, and has written features for Vanity Fair. Okay, following this particular part is an excerpt taken from his introduction to the Penguin Book of Interview. The same book, an anthology from 1859 to the present day, means a collection of interviews from 1859 to the present day. Means this book contains a lot many interviews throughout the world in which certain points had been focused. Now, as I told you, this in chapter has two parts. Part 1 will discuss about the common belief and the definitions and some other great celebrities or writers of the world, as well as it also tells us what people think about certain thing of an interview. And second part, we will have a practical experience. Now, let's start with this. Since its invention a little over 130 years ago. So, invention of interview had been taken place 130 years ago. The interview has become a commonplace of a journalism. Journalism is the media, especially the newspaper or print media or electronic media, both type of media. So it has been a commonplace for all kind of media. Then today, almost everybody who is literate will have read an interview. Means whosoever can read or literate person might have read or listened an interview some point in their life. Okay, sooner or later somebody has read, somebody has seen, somebody has watched an interview, whosoever is an literate person. Then while from the other point of view, several thousand celebrities have been interviewed. Several thousands, I mean thousands of celebrities have been interviewed by some people over the years. Some of them repeatedly, means many celebrities they have been interviewed continuously. So it is a hardly surprising that opinion of the interview. Okay, what of its function? What are its function? It means there is hardly anything surprising. Whosoever has been repeatedly interviewed knows very well its function of interview. Okay, method and merits. What are the methods of interview and what are the merits and demerits of an interview? Very considerably, very means different. This is not very that we have VERY, it's VARY, means different. Some might make quite extravagant claims for it as a being. Some other people they claim that in its highest form a source of truth. Some people think that an interview is a source of truth, and in its practice and in its exercises an art, and practically it is an art. Of course, my dear children, to interview somebody it is a great art, and to be interviewed by somebody it is also great art. So it's two things are there. One, interview is a source of truth, obviously it is right, and it is an art. Whether you are an interviewer or you are an interview. Okay. Others, usually celebrities who see themselves as its victim. Now, other side of the interview, some people, some celebrity, they think that they are the victim, they are the sufferer, might despise the interview as an unwarranted intrusion into their lives. Some people, those who have some kind of negative approach regarding interview, they think that this is an unwarranted warranted intrusion, disturbance, interfere in their lives, or feel that, or they might feel that it somehow diminish them, means decline them, destroy their reputation. Okay, so some people, those who are not in favor of being interviewed, they think that it is an, you can say, interference into their life. Thereafter, just as in some primitive cultures, now come to the primitive cultures, it is believed that if one takes a photographic portrait of somebody, if somebody takes photograph portrait picture of somebody, what was believed that time, then one is stealing the person's soul, means the person who has taken the portrait of somebody has taken the soul of the person far away. This was the primitive culture. V.S. Naipaul, who was near V.S. Naipaul, known as cosmopolitan writer, in his travel books and in his documentary works, he presents his impressions of the country of his ancestors, that is India. He received the Nobel Prize in Literature in 2001. Okay, so V.S. Naipaul said what? Feels that some people are wounded by interviews, means wounded by interviews, and lose a part of themselves, and they lost something of themselves. Lewis Carroll, the creator of Alice in Wonderland, this particular book, Alice in Wonderland, the writer of the creator of this, was said to have had a just horror of the interviewer. Lewis Carroll, being a great person of the world, also had a fear of the interviewer, and he never consented means permitted to be interviewed. He never permit anybody to interview him, even though he was a world famous personality. So dear children, you may think the people, those who were great, were not that much courageous to face the interview. Okay, to be famous is another thing, and to be interviewed is second thing. And nowadays interview is very famous, like you might have watched any episode of the Kapil Sharma show. So what is actually it is an interview. Okay, so it is being like this. Then it was his horror of being lionized which made him thus repel would-be acquaintances, interviewers, and the persistent petitioner for his autograph, and he would afterwards relate the stories of his success in silencing all such people with much satisfaction and amusement. So later, Lewis Carroll, there was a time when people used to get autograph, but nowadays it has been changed into selfie. Okay, to click selfie. So all the acquaintances or all the interviewers, they were following all this person, means Lewis Carroll, to get his autograph, but later he silenced all this kind of satisfaction with his happiness. Rudyard Kipling, Who was Rudyard Kipling? A prolific writer who was known as the poet of the common soldier. Kipling's Jungle Book, which is a story of Kimball O'Hara and his adventures in his Himalayas, is considered as a children's classical all over the world. So Rudyard Kipling has been given here to show some kind of importance of an interview. So who was Rudyard Kipling? He was a world famous person and for the common soldier, a poet of common soldier, and he wrote a book that is children's classical book. Okay, now Rudyard Kipling expressed an even more condemnatory attitude towards the interviewer. Okay, he also never permit anybody to interview himself. Even his wife, Caroline, the wife of Rudyard Kipling, Caroline writes in her diary for 14th October 1892 that their day was wrecked by two reporters. Once two reporters of media, they came to them, and she writes here in her diary that their day was wrecked by two reporters from Boston. Okay, Boston state. She reports her husband as saying to the reporters, "Why do I refuse to be interviewed?" It means she put this question before her husband, who never consent anybody to interview him. So she says this question to her husband, "Why do I refuse to be interviewed?" Because it is immoral, it is a crime, just as much of a crime as an offense against my person. So she says it is an immoral, it is a crime, or it's just a offense against anybody, or as an assault, and just as much merit punishment. So it is like a punishment also. Why do I refuse to be interviewed? So according to that lady, Caroline, she put this question before her husband. Now it is cowardly and vile. It's not a good. Cowardly means timid. No respectable man would ask it, much less give it. So in her diary she writes, no respect means no person who is respectable would ask this question, such question to the person for an interview. Yet Rudyard Kipling had himself perpetrated such an assault on Mark Twain only a few years before. Okay, even he has interviewed somebody like Mark Twain. H.G. Wells, the science fiction writer. Third, an English novelist, journalist, sociologist, and historian, he is known for his work of science fiction. H.G. Wells' best known book for The Time Machine and The Invisible Man and The War of the World. So, being an English novelist, journalist, sociologist, and historian, here we have added him in this chapter, the interview. So, what does he say? H.G. Wells is in an interview in 1894 referred to the interviewing ordeal difficulty, but was a fairly frequent interview, and 40 years later found himself interviewing Joseph Stalin. So what does he say? It is just an interviewing problem or difficulty, but after 40 years he himself interviewed Joseph Stalin. And who was that person? The great Russian revolutionary and an active political organizer. Okay, Joseph Stalin was interviewed by H.G. Wells after 40 years. Even H.G. Wells himself did not want to be interviewed by somebody. Saul below, who has consented to be interviewed on several occasions, nevertheless once described interviews as being like thumbprint on his windpipe. Just this is the important thing. Fourth one is Saul below, who has consented to be interviewed on several occasions, who did not have, or I should say who had less kind of fear of interview. He was interviewed many a times, but he also feels that interview as being like thumbprint on his windpipe. It means it's like as a suffocation. Okay, windpipe that we have biologically in our body, and thumbprint means disturbance. Okay, so he says that interview is like a thumbprint on somebody's windpipe. Yet, despite the drawbacks of the interviews, till now we got to know the drawbacks. Despite the drawbacks of the interview, it is a supremely serviceable medium of communication. Very good kind of definition has been given here. It is a supremely serviceable medium of communication. Exactly, it is, dear children. It is just a medium of communication between two people or between or among people. Okay, in interview there might be one person or there might be a panel of people, panel of persons. Okay, so it is just a good kind of medium of communication. These days, more than at any other time, our most vivid impression of our contemporaries are through interviews. Dennis Berrien has written almost everything of moment reaches us through one man asking questions of another. Means Dennis Brian has done many interviews and he asks one question to another question to know something about the person. Because of this, the interviewer hold a position of unprecedented power and influence, and by doing this activity, by doing this practice, a great influence and power has been increased on the interviewers. Okay, dear children, so part 1 we have completed, in which we came to know about certain things of interview, like Rudyard Kipling, H.G. Wells, Lewis Carroll, V.S. Naipaul. Okay, and some other thing that we also got to know that interview is 130 years old town. Okay, so likewise, and second part we will read of obviously in next video. Till then, do understand all these definitions and terms given by some people about interviews. Thank you. Have a good day.